everyone.
Hello.
And welcome to the now annual tradition of the Good Doctor's coverage of Hallmark Holiday Christmas movies.
Yes.
I'm Dr. Kristen.
I'm Dr. Erin.
And we are delighted today to be talking about Christmas wishes and mistletoe kisses.
Which is very difficult to say without saying it slowly. So thanks for that, Hallmark.
It was their first official new movie of the year.
Yeah.
So we are now in the 10th anniversary of Countdown to Christmas.
Countdown to Christmas. It's happening.
And for those of you, anyone watching this and wondering if we've also noticed the plethora of content over on Lifetime, you bet we have.
We've made a list. We don't know if we're going to be covering them yet because we haven't decided which ones we're covering past around Thanksgiving. There's a lot.
Yeah, but if you're looking at the schedule and you're like, oh, you know what I really want? It's Kristen and Erin to talk about blank. Let us know. We're open to requests.
We are, because we've made a list of the ones we want to watch.
And we've checked it twice.
But we have not yet decided which ones we're going to cover. So if anybody has seen a particular preview or read a synopsis or has a favorite actor or actress, hit us up.
Don't worry, we've got Lacey and Candace covered, guys. Don't worry.
We do. We will cover all the perennial favorites.
Yeah.
Christopher Plaha is coming back again for Christmas.
Speaking of perennial favorites, let's talk about Jill Wagner.
Let's talk about Jill Wagner because she was in a movie last year with Christopher Plaha.
We have quite been taken with her in the last couple years. She's also done several off-holiday original movies. And in this one, she is a single mom who is a program director at looks like a assisted living facility.
Yeah.
But her dream is to be an interior designer. And she happens to get somebody who is on the board of directors of the assisted living, happens to be the richest woman in town.
Yeah. The Sinclairs.
And so that she needs somebody to decorate the Sinclair mansion for their upcoming holiday party. And essentially the mom connives.
She's conniving.
To get her very single, very eligible, but needs to learn how to take a break son to hire Jill Wagner.
And the son is played by, I don't remember his name, but your man from
Legally Blonde.
Yeah, Warner.
You got into Harvard? What? Like it's hard? That guy, the boyfriend, the old boyfriend, the not Luke Wilson boyfriend.
Yeah, Warner, the old boyfriend.
Warner.
Yeah.
Who is eminently delightful in this.
I mean, he's aged very well.
He has also aged into this is how men in their 30s and 40s who are idiots behave.
Yes. Yeah.
He is a pining idiot. He falls for her in the beginning.
It was so cute. Oh my God, when he sent her the nutcracker, I was
my God, I lost it.
No, it's the cutest thing ever.
Oh my gosh. I was like, okay, we're so much closer to using your words. Okay, we can do it.
It was, you can't tell from our energy levels already, we thought this film was delightful.
We loved it. And just from a Abby research perspective, I want to bring up two things I really loved first.
Yeah.
One is that it passes the Bechdel test.
It does. That is on our bingo sheet for this year, and I didn't even write it down, but it did pass the Bechdel test, didn't it?
It passed the Bechdel test because there are lots of conversations of women being professional together.
Yeah, having a conversation. For those of you who don't know the Bechdel test, it's when two female characters have a conversation with each other in a movie or a film that does not revolve around a relationship to a man.
Yep. So in this one, there's lots of conversations about the house and professionalism, and I have a bit of a competence love, and she is real good at her job.
Yeah.
There are Hallmark movies where I'm watching that and I was like, I do not believe that this character whatsoever knows what they're doing, and they're just reciting a script. Jill Wagner is so good.
Very convincing,
at inhabiting this character, and I 100% believe that she knows what she's doing. The second thing is that throughout the movie, we spent a lot of time with not Warner's assistant.
The SVP. She was the senior vice president.
And the movie wants us to think that she's the enemy.
Yeah. For
long enough that I was getting grumpy about it.
A little annoyed because it's an overused and it's just, it's a tired trope.
It's a cheap trope.
Yeah,
it's easy writing.
It's the easy one. It's the low-hanging fruit, right?
Yeah, and so I was like, well, it's Hallmark, so that's the direction we're going to go. And no. Homegirl has no interest in dating her boss.
And Homegirl comes around to Jill Wagner.
Yep.
Pretty, like, by the end. And so you think she just doesn't like her because she's competition or whatever.
Like, no, she has some really specific standards, and this woman's professionalism doesn't meet them yet.
Yeah, so she totally calls it at the end, goes, Abby, you've done a fantastic job. I was wrong. Thank you so much. We're so lucky we had you.
Like,
I was like,
high-fiving a million angels. I loved it.
Okay, but then at the end, right when we think Hallmark's going to go super tropey, they don't.
No.
Amazing. I loved it.
Instead, now, it's still super tropey, don't worry, because Jill Wagner overhears, makes assumptions.
They were like so close. It was like,
I mean, but that's the kind of thing you want. Like, it's fine. So there was appropriate romance tropes, not the tired one. So essentially what the SVP sits her boss, Nick, not Warner, down and says, like, so I know you're in love with her.
Yeah.
And I love this job more than you do. Yeah. So promote me. Yeah. I will take care of the job. You go be a husband and a dad.
Yeah.
And you'll be great. And within the next year, I'm going to take this international and the world is going to change. And like, she's like pitching herself hardcore.
She's like, I have so many plans. I'm so excited about it. This is what I want to do.
I have a skill set.
Not what you want to do. Like.
And he just looks at her and goes, okay, you're hired. And she's like, well, that's easier than I thought it was going to be.
Ah, yes.
And I was like, women, take a chance.
Yes.
Oh my God. Loved it. Then there's a grand gesture, which.
I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for a grand gesture.
I'm a sucker for a grand gesture, y'all.
I love a grand gesture.
Especially a grand gesture, excuse me, that involves slow dancing and classical music like this one does.
I thought he was going to get the carolers. I was like, there's going to be carolers.
The Nantucket carolers. I did think that.
Yeah, but I mean, the string quartet was classier. So go with God, Nick. Great choice.
Oh my God. So Hallmark has a couple like franchises that I don't care about at all. The Wedding March one is terrible. The Graceland one is obnoxious. I need this to become a franchise.
I want to see next year. Hopefully, but if it's this, I don't want Christmas Wishes and Mistletoe Kisses too.
No, it will be. No, I need you to prepare yourself. It will be. I'll keep practicing.
A very merry, I don't know, Chris. Like
they are terrible at naming things.
They're terrible at naming things. But overall. Delighted. They were super heavy hitting with the Christmas tropes in this one. We did not have bingo.
Yes, we did. Remember, because we decided that Emily's the conniving coworker. Or Kate.
Kate. We decided she's conniving, but not a stereotypical conniving.
Yeah. So
technically we did. I forgot. Offline, we decided we did have bingo. So we have Christmas song in the background, which was like every scene.
Like 7 seconds in.
Kiss under the mistletoe. Character tells story from childhood, which happened like multiple times because that's how they fell in love. And conniving coworker and the free square. Kate isn't the typical trope of conniving coworker. She's conniving for a different reason, but we loved the plot twist, and we'll take it.
Was a great one.
But we had so many off the bingo sheet. There was the city scene, decorating, tree lighting ceremony, gingerbread decorating, Christmas pageant, fake cups of coffee.
Oh, the fake hot chocolate was amazing.
Like multiple mistletoe incidents. They just went like, they didn't just have one story from the childhood. They had like 5 stories from the childhood.
Yeah. Character doesn't like or celebrate Christmas. Main couple doesn't like each other at first.
The other thing I noticed that was weird, I'm just looking at my notes, was that, because typically when there's a single parent storyline, there's always the sob story about what happened to the parent.
I have no idea what happened to her husband and or a sperm donor.
They never told us. They showed one picture that looked like him and her son.
Yeah.
So clearly, like, you know, they were together for the birth of a child in a relationship. We don't know what it was. We don't know if she was married. We don't know if he died. We don't know if they divorced. It was so un-Hallmarky that it was not made into like a super sappy like plot point. I was like,
yeah,
she's just an adult who has a child from a previous relationship and she's a working mom. It was very adult of them.
Yeah, we get some of the like, I really need to be here. I really need to be at this thing for my kid.
Yeah.
And so the people around her being like, okay, let's figure out how we make that happen, which is like exactly how employees behave in real life.
Yeah, and she didn't like, another trope that Hallmark would have relied on in the past was like the disappointed child lesson. So like she would have gotten too wrapped up in her work and would have missed the important rehearsal, and her kid would have been really upset, and that would have been a lesson for her, and oh, I'm getting too wrapped up in my job. But no, she was going to be late and her car was covered in snow, and Nick was like, I'll drive you, I have 4-wheel drive, and she made it and it was fine.
I'll solve the problem, and this is life, and here we go.
Yeah, it was very realistic in those moments.
Yeah.
And like people were adult about it, which was nice, because then it made the romance tropes, I think, a little bit more grounded.
Yes.
We expect them because it's a romance novel come to life.
Yeah.
And we watch them for the romance tropes. But when you've got too many other tropes that like aren't realistic at all, the non-romancy ones, then the romance ones kind of fall flat. So I thought it gave weight to the romance ones, which was cool.
That's a great point. Yeah.
It was a big heavy hitting from the start.
Yeah, big 4 thumbs up from the Good Doctors on Christmas Wishes and Mistletoe Kisses.
They've raised themselves a high bar, so...
don't worry, I'm fairly sure some of the previews that we've seen for the rest of the season will just basement it back out like normal. It's what happens when you produce, like 65 original works in the span of a year? Like,
oh my God, they've literally done at least a new movie every weekend this whole year.
And most of them are 2 new movies on each, so 4 new movies, 2 on each channel.
Yeah. It's definitely over Christmas. They're doing, there's at least 1 new movie every night of Thanksgiving week, because I've looked at the schedule recently. So there's like a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the week of Thanksgiving, I think on Hallmark. And then on other weekends, not Thanksgiving, there's at least a Friday night or a Saturday night and a Sunday night on both Hallmark and Hallmark
Movies and Mysteries.
Like, y'all, I do not know how they produce all of these films. It's way too much for any human to handle, but we're going to do our darndest to see it.
Yeah, and I'll also say, for anybody looking for extra Hallmark content, there is a podcast called Dave and Jeb Aren't Mean. We'll link it in the show notes, where 2 dudes also talk about the oeuvre of the Hallmark Cinematic Universe.
Now coining.
And so we'll link that too if you're looking for more stuff. They cover much differently than we do, but just as kindly. Yeah. They're not there to tear it apart. They're there to kind of celebrate it. So we'll that's extra content for you, for those of you who wished we did a video for every movie, which no.
Whew, Lord,
let me pop that bubble right now.
It is not happening. So up next weekend, we do have a new movie coming up next week. It's premiering November 2nd, which is Saturday, on Hallmark Channel, regular Hallmark Channel. It is called Merry and Bright. It stars 2 of our favorites, Dr. Kristen and I's favorites. I don't know about your favorites. I can't speak to them.
Yeah, we're just going to assume you guys love everybody we love. Sorry.
One of our hunks of Hallmark, which is also a great Twitter follow if you're looking for more hot men content. If you want to be a little thirsty, Andrew Walker.
He's in When Calls the Heart too, right?
He is in When Calls the Heart, yeah, which a lot of people watch. And Jodie Sweetin from Full House and Fuller House fame. So this one is called Merry and Bright. And Kate is the CEO, yes, CEO lady, of the Merry and Bright Candy Cane Company, and meets Gabe, Andrew Walker, during the busy Christmas season. She assumes Gabe is the suitor her well-meaning mother is trying to set her up with, when in reality he works for Empire Corporate Recovery, which has been hired to take a closer look at Merry and Bright's operation and find ways to make the company more profitable. Ooh.
Why doesn't the CEO know that he's been hired? Oh, we might have questions.
Yeah, like
we might have like Spider-Man Far From Home level questions about the fact that people don't understand what a CEO does.
Can he just go in and assess his own, he's like, oh, I picked this company and I'm going to evaluate and audit them without their knowledge and without speaking to the CEO.
Right. So if that happens, stay tuned for a patented Good Doctor rant about business ethics and principles.
I register my premature skepticism at some of those glaring plot holes But that's the IMDb synopsis, so
who knows?
Maybe, but I love a good mistaken,
yes,
because there's going to be a lot of like awkward statements and like misinterpreted,
like beautifully cringeworthy.
Yeah, it's going to be, and Jodie Sweetin pulls that off really well. She pulls off like, you know,
like kind of confused,
blissfully unaware.
Yeah.
She that's kind of one of her hallmark traits. See what I did there. But I will watch Andrew Walker like
read the phone book. So
I would watch Andrew Walker just like literally just read.
I mean, like I am tempted by When Calls the Heart by all the actors in it, but I just don't care about Prairie, Canada as a setting.
Me neither.
But the like, actors,
because Jesse Metcalf's in it too, right?
No, he's in Chesapeake Shores.
Oh, see, I get them confused.
Yeah, so When Calls the Heart is Royal Canadian Mounted Police in the 1800s.
Yes.
Chesapeake Shores is the shores of the Chesapeake Bay in like the 2000s.
Right. Confusing.
Both based on
now I'm more of a fan of Jesse Metcalf from some of his summer movies this year. So, but no, still not prompting me to watch Chesapeake Shores. Chesapeake Shores looks a little bit too much like Revenge for me.
Oh no, it is not that soapy.
Okay, but it just appears like it visually looks like it, and that was such a train wreck of a show that I'm like, meh, no.
No, they're based on books, and I've read all the books.
Oh, okay.
And they are like, my mom loves Chesapeake Shores. There you go.
Does she watch When Calls the Heart?
She does not, because nor does she care about Prairie, Canada.
Like I don't know if it's jingoistic. Like, man, I just don't care about Canada, but that's not.
I mean, I care about Canada. Let me be clear. I like Canada. I'm not the world's biggest historical person.
Oh, see, I am, and I still don't want to watch it. Like, you would get historical, like, romance set in the wilderness right up my alley. And I'm like,
See, I think on a Hallmark Channel, I'd be like, right, so they don't have showers? Why are their teeth clean? Like,
yeah, I would start to pick it apart. I'd be like, yeah, the zipper wasn't invented yet. Like,
yeah, and that is not fun for anyone. Even the show, like, they don't want people watching their show that's going to watch it for that. So, like,
no, too true.
Too true. Yeah, so it's just not my jam. Also, like, I famously only watch television for these videos. So if we're not covering it, I'm pretty much not watching.
It's true, folks. It's true. I watch a lot more television than Dr. Kristen.
Yeah.
That's funny. If we're not reviewing it, I'm not watching it.
It's on a list somewhere as like, oh, that sounds like a good idea for the next time I have the flu. And then I never get the flu. So.
That's true. But we digress slightly, but you can all look forward to our review and recap of Merry and Bright next week. But I think that's everything for Christmas wishes and mistletoe kisses. Thank you. I have said all I need to say about this delightful film.
Same.
Awesome. So we wish you all a Hallmark level week of delightful tropes and hilarious mishaps that cause no real harm. And we will see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.